the same time, there's been a lot of change in the workplace too. So before we changed our model, did you do some, between the two of you, I suppose, did you do some research into what were other people saying about the way that the world of work was going to require from people in order to be successful in doing the different types of jobs? Because we've got huge amount of digitization, we now have generative AI, so future requirements of what we're going to need from people will be different from the past. So how did you go about looking at some of the academic research around that, and what did you discover from that?
Yeah, so as you've just said, huge changes in the workplace happening, and we know that what we're measuring now might not necessarily be relevant for the future, and we wanted to make sure that our assessment is obviously keeping up with that changing workplace demand. So this initiated a comprehensive review of our assessment and our tasks to make sure that what we are measuring is going to remain relevant and important for the future of work. So this included sort of our own original research, sort of thought leadership research, which I think, Luke, you will sort of get onto in just a second. And then we also used obviously the vast amount of data that we have to create a very strong evidence-based foundations to then explore maybe new measures, or how we can sort of evolve and further develop our current assessment.
And so we went through some of the thought leadership that was being put out by organizations like Deloitte, McKinsey, the World Economic Forum has lots of reports, the yearly reports on sort of labor trends. The National Foundation for Education Research is a particular favorite of mine. We took as Sanchia said, the data that we have, but then also a lot of the data that we have from clients, such as competency frameworks, looking at what in the competency frameworks was already reflecting the changes that we were expecting to see about the future of work. So really taking as many different views of it as we could.
And so then combining those things together, we've then come up with a new model.
What we saw was relatively simple. There are three broad families of skill enabler that will be relevant for the future. As long as humans are involved in work at some point, regardless of the technological changes that are going on, people are going to need three things, really. They'll need interpersonal skills.
We're all working with other people, so clearly.
I mean, some of this isn't rocket science.
Yes.
Interpersonal skills, the ability to think, and many things come under that, problem solving, decision making, and whatever else we can think of that fits under there. Many of the skills that you described from other organizations probably fit under there. And then also self-management skills. So to what extent are you able to direct your own behaviors to achieve goals, inhibit responses?